Hang on. Well, hello everybody.
Previously on Alan Wake.
What he said.
I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with
Change
me.
the
I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it.
dude
God
name
damn it,
of
Alice.
stream name.
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
How can I change that?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
See the snowy mantle golden gleam. The overblass ice wing floats go to dinner. It's still the same. I see nervous.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Oh. Talking about the sex. Toilet paper. We need them. Wait, no, it's not 21. It's not 2021 anymore. A nice, quaint little apartment. What do we got here?
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather.
Oh, it's in here. None there is.
Third day of the blizzard.
Nope.
The weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
Oh, I missed a couple of manuscript papers. Alan Wake. Return, descendant. Return, descendant. I gave a letter to the boss. Oh.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry,
Where's my phone? Hang on. I really gotta download one of these QR codes. Hold on. QRs. Oh, perfect. You're a reader, I get you. Diddle 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 up. Yeah. Diddle 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 dee. Diddle dee. Let's see what this thing says.
Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right
Yeah.
here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
What we got here? Vision 2.
I really don't like this, Alan.
Shut up.
Please hurry.
Things I had a connection to, but also things I couldn't possibly know. I used them in my writing to make it real, so that the parts that weren't would become so. And there were visions that I knew were not real, ideas I had lost, often of Casey. I had written about him for years. I used them as well. The lies had to feel true for them to become true. Had I always written this way? Even before, seen things without realizing I was seeing them, thinking they were mine.
I missed the first one.
Inspiration was for me. I was trapped here. Had been for what felt like years. Outside reality. What we count as real. I wrote to find a way out. I wrote to master this
Alan,
place.
I really need those lights on.
Shut up, honey.
My reality.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just get the lights back on now, please.
Set in New York City. Until I was sick of it. The Alex Casey books. A detective solving cases of murder. Corruption and madness in the dark city.
Alan, please.
This place
Check
tapped
the fuse
into
box.
my unconscious
It's in the
mind.
Honey,
hallway.
it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Stole into
Okay.
the nightmare that
Hi.
took shape around me.
You okay?
A mystery.
I'm sorry.
A detective story.
It just really
A
spooked me.
detective to guide me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
It haunted me.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests.
Really need to
I
play
couldn't
Quantum
leave
Break.
without Alice.
Oh, they made the original Max Payne.
I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
What?
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
Looking to examine stuff.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver.
Where?
Everything seems
Where?
to be fine.
Where? Oh. Good boy.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now. Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
Thomas.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over. Wait. Yeah.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
This is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsal today. Over. Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over. Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Sorry to tell you guys, but he's dead. I had to kill him. Because that's what the story demanded.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Alice was missing. I needed help to find her. I wasn't ready to leave.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay, you can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Alright.
Mr. Wade, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he'd quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like...
I couldn't go anywhere yet. I had to play along with the caller. Alice's life was at stake.
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights? The lights on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the Dark Presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
I told him, oh yeah, well, I don't hear where on your feet.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Oh, and I'll look around for a thermos. And I just found my thermos. Nice. There's also a thing here.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off. God knows I need my beauty. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the Sheriff's Department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car. The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak. the waterfall and the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Alright.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
That's one way to get through writer's block.
I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Douchebag.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh, my!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow.
Rose,
I was just
God.
thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
You can have her, Barry.
Max.
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Still slightly annoyed that I know
Al,
that's from
what you were
Layers
saying
of
in the
Fear.
car, just listen to yourself.
Any more thermos or manuscript pages? I know I missed
What,
2 of them.
you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week. And someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
All right, wait here.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You run cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry
Aw.
about this. Would you mind grabbing the
Is
registration
that Toby?
form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure.
Oh, that's Toby.
What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky.
Yeah, what about Toby?
Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing is... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Not gonna happen.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers
keep
out there
talking?
we haven't
All
heard
right.
from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay. Okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
Yeah, Barry. Yeah, they got real dark all of a sudden.
Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission. Real funny, Al. Real funny. Ha ha! Thank you. I'll just sit here in the dark till you come back. Or until I get eaten by a grue.
Ah, there's a thermos.
I didn't realize we were back in the 3rd grade here. Seriously, cut it out, Al. My nerves are shot.
Oh, he's done. Okay. Ooh, batteries. Got my thermos. Is there any pages down here? Any pages at all? Is there... Oh, this way? Nope. Alright, I don't think there's any pages for me to get, so let's go. Got 9 batteries to which to play with. Let's do this. Don't have a gun though, so that's not always the best move. Let's go this way first. Let's stay up here and let's see what we got around the place, shall we? Ah ha 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 ha. One's the run button.
I'll wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Locking the door now.
Well, that's nice of him. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Oh, now I got my gun.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
And you would too if you lost your wife.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. It wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Alright, let's get a track on.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it.
These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Alright. I got a little bit of a spook for me. My expectation is to go about an hour and a half for each episode.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah. It's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact.
Alright. I don't care enough. Just want to add stuff to the story. World building 101. She didn't like me pushing the swing. Sorry. Whatever. I will find ways to entertain myself. Don't you worry, game. Another cabin. Shun Cave, Lover's Peak. Anybody in here? Hello. So see. Damn birds. The lights. Oh, not another one of these. No!
The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes
I
are
don't.
impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs.
Oh,
Tonight's episode,
so I don't have to watch it.
The Man in the Mirror.
I'm not watching it. Yeah. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Out of the way. What's this? Payphone? Payphone. Is payphones in force? Right. Oh, manuscript.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
Well, it's the dog didn't die. But we still don't know what happened with Toby.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! Oh God. I'm coming!
Please, help me! Anybody? Help me! Help me! Can you hear me? Anyone? Please help!
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the
Oh,
building
we're at the
into
visitor
splinters.
center again.
Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way. Felt the broken rib stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die.
Hello?
Help me! Somebody back here! I'm back here. Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy.
Oh, what is it? Nope. Oh, okay. Ah, the bear, no. Where's his office? It's across the way.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
That head. Over here, maybe? Oh, covenants. Jesus stuff. Is it over here then? Has to be. It's around the way. I always take the less road traveled. What's this? Drop hazard. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Thermos. There's the page. It's around the desk. Bing.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
At least we know he lives, right? Get shotgun. Batteries. Enough ammo to last us days. Well, not days, but time.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Just need hunting licenses.
Go.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals.
Fishing
is only permitted
for those
visitors.
Oop, Herger's up, Park.
Fishing
License.
Oh, out there.
Obey
the park ranger's instructions
at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never.
Closer than 100 yards.
Two bears and wolves. Never approach any other wildlife closer than
25 yards.
Cats must be leashed.
At all times.
Never leave your
Pet unattended.
It is
against the law
to remove any
natural objects
or historical artifacts from the park. This includes even
rocks.
You may
Find along the river.
or even simple berries.
Oh, well. Oh, well, we did too early. I will get it. I will understand how to do the Dodge mechanic. Oh, yeah. Hooray.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
I just need hunting licenses.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals.
Obey
the park ranger's instructions
at all
closer than 100 yards. 2 bears and wolves never approached any other wildlife closer than 45 yards. Pets must be leashed. Never leave your pet.
What? No. What? No. Ah. 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 I will understand this Dungeon Man before I do anything else. I don't care if I have to die 20 times.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
I just need hunting licenses.
It's not working. It's not working. Come on.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Just need hunting licenses.
Come on. Hang on, I gotta figure this out.
Rusty!
Oh, okay. I Google it real fast. I have to swing.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Kill one of them. No. No, that... You are annoying me, game. Press.
Rusty!
Oh, figure it out. Let's keep going. I don't want to keep going through this game without knowing how to die.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked
correctly.
like liquid darkness.
Just need hunting licenses.
got it once. Do one more time, then we'll just move on.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Oh! Well, looks like we're moving on then.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Don't feed the animals.
Obey!
The park ranger's instructions.
At all times. Fishing!
Rusty, no!
Those prisoners! Who purchased a park? License! Never! Two bears and wolves! Never approached any other wildlife closer than 25 Pets must be leashed!
All times.
Never leave your pet unattended! It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park. This includes even rocks, UV, or even simple berries.
I want to know how to dodge.
Rusty!
Do this one more time, I guess.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
It's easy to dodge the projectile attacks. I'm not dying. I'm trying to understand.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Hey! 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 Oh. Oh. Alright. Take him out now. Alright. 3 successful in a row dodges. That's fine by me.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Don't feed the animals.
Oh.
Fishing! 4,000 creatures up north. License. Obey.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never.
Never approached any other world closer than
25 yards.
pets must be leashed. Never leave your
Pet unattended.
It is
against
Sorry, Barry. Alright. Alright. Well then. Well, let's keep going. We're going for a little bit longer.
What the hell was that? I saw it from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Yeah.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Damn. Well, I'm going to leave this episode here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.